let's make some polymer clay cupcakes. For this project, you'll need several colors of clay, one for the actual cupcake, one for the frosting, one for the base, and one for the eyes and mouth. Here I'm making a vanilla cupcake, so I'm using ecru clay and black for the eyes and mouth. You can also use brown to make a chocolate cupcake with white eyes, or any other combination of colors that you like. You'll also need hardware to finish off the cupcake. I'm keeping mine as a simple charm, so I'm just using an eye screw. For tools, you'll need a cupcake base mold, a dotting tool like this one, a toothbrush, and a paintbrush. To finish off adding some details to our cupcake, we'll just need some chalk pastels in shades of brown, as well as some glaze for durability. Here I'm using Varathane. Let's get started. I'm starting by conditioning my base color just to make it a little softer and more pliable. Then I'll take a piece about the size of my cupcake base and press it into the mold, pushing down to make sure that it fills out all of the ridges and I won't get a hole in the bottom of my cupcake. After, I'll remove any excess clay off the top so it sits flat. When it's done, it should look about like this. Now I'm going to go in with my cupcake color. I'm making a dome shape a little wider in diameter than my cupcake base and pressing it down on top. Then I'm going to take my toothbrush and add a baked texture to my cupcake by just gently pressing the bristles of my toothbrush into the top. You don't want to poke so hard that there are holes, just gently press to get this nice lightly baked texture. After that, we'll add the baked color. I'm using 2 colors of chalk pastels here to add a bit more depth, but one color will work just fine. I'm taking my brush and running it over my lighter chalk pastel, then brushing it all over the surface of my cupcake. After that, I'm going in with a darker color and adding it just to the sides of the cupcake with a much lighter hand. If you're just using one color, I'd recommend mostly using it at the edges without adding too much color in the center to get that same dimensional baked look. Make sure to clean up your work surface after doing this, or the chalk pastel will get all over your frosting color and everything else later. Now we'll add the eyes. With your dotting tool, make 2 indentations on the side of your cupcake, about here. Then I'm going to roll 2 small black balls of clay slightly smaller than the indentations I made. Finally, I'll place them inside the indentations, and then I'm going to press down on top of them with that same dotting tool. It'll make them fit into the indentations we made. Then I'll give the cupcake a little smile. I'm rolling out a snake of black clay as small as I can. I tend to roll on the back of my hand to make it easier. Then I break off a tiny piece, use my dotting tool to pick it up, and apply it to my cupcake. I very gently use the end of my dotting tool to adjust the spile to where I want it, making sure I don't mess up the texture from the toothbrush from before. From here, how you decorate is up to you. I'm going to add a simple frosting swirl to mine by rolling out a snake of clay and tapering it at both ends, then wrapping it around the cupcake. If you have extra of your base color or other colors of clay, you could also add tiny sprinkles or little fruit details to your cupcakes as well. Once that's done, I'm adding the eye screw to my cupcake right at the edge of my frosting. Make sure to screw it in rather than just pushing it in because it'll keep your eye screw more stable. Then remove the cupcake from the mold by pressing gently on the bottom, transfer to a baking sheet or ceramic tile like I'm using here, and bake at 275 degrees for about 40 minutes. Once it's done baking and has cooled, we're going to glaze our cupcake for durability. I add my glaze to the top first, let it dry completely, then add glaze to the bottom. Trying to do it all at once will cause the glaze to pool and have a weird flat bit on it. That's it! Try experimenting to make all kinds of cupcakes. Here's a chocolate one I made, and its friend who had a bite taken out of it and has filling leaking out at the top here. You can also make silly cupcakes like this one that looks like a truffle, or even this broccoli cupcake. Keep playing around to see what you can make. Have fun!